Good morning, everybody. This is David Bovin, your head of training for Kale Realty. I'd like to welcome you to our training today. And our theme this week is time management. So yesterday, we had a little video about some different tips for you. And today, what I'm going to do is actually go into a spreadsheet that I have created, and I'm happy to share with you guys. It's actually available on the Facebook group under guides right now. You can check it out and use it, utilize it if you'd like, or just get some ideas, whatever you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and stop my video and go to the spreadsheet here. All right, so what I've called this is my sphere of influence and more spreadsheet. It doesn't necessarily mean it's your SOI, okay? That's what I call it because those are what the programs that I use like to call that. But basically, it's a list of people, friends, previous clients, business acquaintances that you're going to try and get referrals from, keep track of, okay? So you're going to have their name, phone number, email, and address. Generally, you're not going to have all of this information unless you've got a like holiday card list, maybe that has everyone's address. But usually you have one of these items. So that means you can go ahead and call Dave and say, hey, I'm putting together a program for people who could potentially use me or know someone who might like to use me as a realtor. If you could provide me your email address and your home address, I'd like to send you some business cards and some information. Okay. And here I also like to keep track of how many referrals they've given because over time, right, this list is going to get huge. You might have 4, 5, 600 people on it. So you want to keep track of who's given you the most referrals because those who have given are more likely to give again. So if you have 500 people in your SOI and out of that 500, 50 of them have given you referrals, focus on the 50 that have given you referrals, okay? Transactions, have you done any transactions with this person? And then here I have some basic info that I like to use, and you can change it up like I said. But I send an introduction mailer after that first conversation, okay? Then I send an intro email the same day. I put if I had contact with them, when I did the last thank you, when I did my last pop by, and when the last mailer that I sent was. Because after I get through that first mailer, every couple of months I'm going to send something. So I want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. Okay. The other thing that you want to consider here is every time you have a conversation with somebody, I highly recommend writing them a thank you note. It comes into very, very, very helpful use for you. Separately, I have a vendor SOI. The reason I like to keep these separate is because there are times where I want to focus on my vendor list. Maybe I'm just trying to build my networking, or I'm having some kind of business to business networking event, or I'm looking for referrals specifically from attorneys. Okay. But I keep them separate. So my sphere of influence, friends, business acquaintances, family, previous clients, vendor SOI, other realtors, lenders, attorneys, home warranty agents, things of that nature. Clients are going to be your current clients, okay? So yes, you have old clients in your SOI, but in your clients portal here, in your tab, you have the ability to then keep track of what's going on with all of your clients right now that you're working with. So are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Are they looking to rent? When did they start working with you? Do they have any offers? When's the closing? Okay. When's the last time you showed properties? I, on my personal one, will even keep track of the properties I've shown them and on what date. Okay. So you can get as deep into that as you want, but clients, that's what that portion of the tab is. Daily, weekly, monthly task. Here's where I'm going to keep track of what I want to hold myself accountable for. So I want to make sure that I do 10 sphere of influence calls a day. I want to send 10 thank you notes per day, do 10 follow up emails from the day before, okay? Meaning that I did my 10 SOI calls on Monday. On Tuesday, I'm sending a follow up email. Hey, did you get my voicemail? Just want to make sure you receive it. Any questions, let me know, okay? Remine, I like to use to find potential sellers. OpCity, if I take any leads, and just how many leads I got that day. Okay. So, what came into fruition? Weekly, I like to do 3 Popeyes, go to 1 networking event. Did I or did I not win the week? By winning the week, what I mean is however many items you have that you want to do in a day. So here we have 8. If I complete 5 of those 8 items, I have won the day. If I do that 3 days out of 5 days in a work week, I won the week. If I did that 3 weeks out of the work month, I have won the month. 7 months out of the year, I've won the year. Okay. The reason that that's important is because it gives you a little bit of leeway if you have a bad week or a bad day. Okay. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to start everything over. Just keep in repetition is everything. Keep on top of this stuff. Your daily digest. What this is a way for you to hold yourself not liable for any bad information that a potential client or agent might hold over your head. So, what I do every day, I mark a start and I have my conversations for that day. And I put what was the conversation about and what was the pertinent info. The reason being that, let's say in December, seller Joe comes to me and says, Dave, I never told you to drop my price to 125,000. Well, in my notes here, I have written that we spoke on this day and you told me to adjust it. I also have paperwork backing it up. Okay. So you have a paper trail and you have a trail of this, your phone calls. Now, if you just have phone calls that matter in the part of a case, let's say that seller Joe does have an issue and all you turned in was this, okay, that's not going to do anything for you. You have to show that you have maintained consistency for this to be utilized, okay, and for it to hold effect. So keep that in mind. Be consistent with all of this stuff. If you're consistent and you're tracking, you will make more money. Seller leads. So these are leads for people who want to sell. Buyer leads, people who potentially want to buy. Tenants. And the last one I have here is prospecting. So I have the name, address, phone, potential listing address, and where I get these from generally are going to be Remine. You might do some canvassing where you walk around and look for sale by owner signs. You might door knock and meet people. Okay. They might be Facebook leads or maybe someone you see on a classifieds website is selling by owner. That's what these prospecting leads are. It gives you a place to keep track of who you're trying to work with. All right. Because they don't necessarily fit into your sphere of influence yet, and they're not clients yet. So until they're one of those two things, you have the prospecting area. Okay. So that's basically what I have laid out for you guys and my sphere of influence in the spreadsheet that I use. Like I said, this is available for you on Facebook under guides. So if you look there, you can find it. I'll open things up to any questions. We have some people watching on Facebook as well as on Zoom. You can unmute yourself and talk, or if you're in Facebook, you can chat, or you can always email me, david@kalerealty.com. Okay. Do we have any questions? Um, No, I don't believe so. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to have another session tomorrow on some time management skills. So please take the 15, 20 minutes out of your day and check it out. And hopefully you get some gainful information out of it. All right. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.